My mom gave my college fund to my golden child brother, then expected me to smile at dinner. When I was 8, my grandparents started a college fund for me. It wasn't huge, but over the years, birthday money, holiday checks, and contributions from my dad's side of the family slowly built it into something real. By the time I graduated high school, there was enough to cover most of my tuition at a decent university, and I was careful with it. I got good grades. I skipped trips with friends because I was saving. I worked weekends at a cafe during senior year so I'd have money for books and housing. I knew my family wasn't rich, so I treated that fund like it was my one clean shot at building a future. My older brother Ryan treated life very differently. Ryan was my mom's golden child. He could do no wrong in her eyes. He dropped out of community college twice, crashed 2 cars, and somehow always had money for new sneakers, concert tickets, and nights out with his friends. Every bad decision he made came with the same excuse from my mom. Ryan is just figuring things out. Apparently, I wasn't allowed to figure things out. I was expected to be responsible, mature, understanding, and low maintenance at all times. Still, I never thought she'd go this far. A month before my first semester started, I logged into the college payment portal to transfer money from my savings account to cover the remaining tuition balance. But when I checked the linked account where my college fund had been moved years ago, the balance looked wrong. Not low, empty. First, I thought it had to be a mistake. I called the bank. I sat on hold for 20 minutes, tapping my fingers so hard I left marks on my desk. Then the woman on the phone calmly told me the account had been closed 3 days earlier, and the funds had been withdrawn in full by the joint account holder, my mom. I drove home shaking. When I walked into the kitchen, she was making dinner like it was any normal evening. Ryan was sitting at the counter eating chips and scrolling on his phone. I didn't even say hello. Where is my college money? My mom turned around slowly like I was the one being dramatic. Oh, she said, wiping her hands on a dish towel. I was going to talk to you about that. She said it so casually I almost laughed. Apparently Ryan was in a rough spot. He had an incredible opportunity to go in on some business idea with a friend, but he needed startup cash quickly. My mom said she made a temporary family decision and used my college fund to help him. A temporary family decision. I stared at her and said, "You stole my tuition money." Ryan rolled his eyes and muttered, "Can you not make this a whole thing?" That was the moment something in me snapped. My mom actually had the nerve to tell me I should be supportive because family helps family. And Ryan needed it more than I did because I was smart enough to figure something out. Then she looked me dead in the face and said, "You should really work on not being so selfish." Selfish. For wanting the money that had been saved for my education. I left before I said something unforgivable. That night I called my aunt, my dad's sister. The one person in the family who never bought into the whole Ryan is special nonsense. I told her everything. She was silent for about 5 seconds then said, "Do you have proof?" Oh, I had proof. Bank statements. Emails from the college fund account. Messages from my mom telling me not to overreact. I sent all of it. What I didn't know was that a huge chunk of that college fund hadn't come from my mom at all. My grandparents and my aunt had contributed most of it over the years under the understanding that it was strictly for my education. My aunt was furious. By the next afternoon, she had called my grandparents and my dad. And suddenly, the same family that had spent years excusing Ryan's behavior was forced to look at what my mom had actually done. My grandparents demanded the money be returned immediately. My dad threatened legal action if it wasn't. My aunt made it very clear that if my mom wanted to defend stealing from one child to bankroll the other, she could explain it to the entire extended family herself. Dinner that night was very different. My mom had made lasagna like some weird attempt to act normal, and actually expected me to sit there smiling while she served everyone. Ryan kept avoiding eye contact. My mom looked exhausted, angry, and embarrassed. Then my grandfather walked in. He didn't even sit down. He placed a folder on the table and said, "Ryan, return every cent. Your mother can help you if she wants, but you will not use your sister's future as your allowance." Silence. Absolute silence. Ryan started with excuses. His friend already had the money, the business needed time, it wasn't fair to pressure him, but nobody was buying it anymore. For the first time in my life he looked small. By the end of that week the money was back. Not because my mom suddenly grew a conscience, but because my grandparents pulled financial support from her. My dad got involved and Ryan's business opportunity turned out to be exactly what everyone with common sense assumed. A lazy scam built on fantasy and entitlement. My aunt helped me move the money into a new account with only my name on it. And as for my mom, she kept saying I'd humiliated her by involving the family. I told her no. She humiliated herself when she stole from her daughter and expected gratitude in return. I start my second year of college this fall. Ryan still lives at home, and my mom still wonders why I only visit on holidays.